We get to see and hear from the players, the coaches like Coach Bud in the moments after, the days, the weeks after a championship. But what's it like for the team president when you win the title?
So it's unimaginable. Like on the qualitative side, you just kind of gasp, and it's something you dream about and you kind of always aspire to, and you sell, right? Hey, we are a championship caliber team. And then you kind of accomplish it and you're kind of like a little bit breathless. And then you realize the reality of this is a moment in time that really, unlike any other, you can leverage, and you have to kind of catapult you to the next level. And we've had this kind of interesting 5 or 6 years where we've kind of really evolved as a business, as a team. We opened a new arena. I mean, you and Navigate have kind of held our hand through that in kind of showing the world what the real metrics are, what the optics look like, and everything else. And now the power of what it means to be in the NBA Finals and win a championship on a global scale is just enormous. And it opens up so many opportunities on a revenue side, on international, on what we're doing on social and digital. I think you catch your breath and then just say, like, how can we organize and kind of really make this a special moment?
You had Giannis give an incredible quote during the finals, I believe, about the importance of being in the moment, staying in the present, not looking back, not looking ahead. How hard has it been for you to stop and savor this moment and not just rush into everything that's next or spend too much time just dwelling on all the work that led to it?
Challenging, right? Because it's such a new experience. You almost don't know how to react. You almost don't know how to experience it. I think like our relationships, so many of the people like within the organization have kind of done this together, kind of like through this last chapter. So that was extremely special and really wanted to take a moment. But boy, it happens like you win, a couple of days later, you're in surrealism of a parade. And then you're kind of the way the NBA season goes. A week later, we had the draft. A week after that, we had free agency. We've renewed our coach. And then like we had practice start on Monday. It's like a couple of weeks. So I think really trying to push everybody enjoying it a little bit. But the reality is there's no balance because the whole thing is so surreal. You're just kind of learning how to deal with it.
How did you celebrate the night up?
I had my family there. I had my mom there. I had my brothers there. We kind of all held each other. I think I didn't want to leave the court. I went into the locker room and just like, for the sake of wanting the experience, might have like sprayed, 6 bottles of champagne for the sake of probably without a sip. And then we had planned to rent out a place in Milwaukee for a post-game event if we had won. And kind of the entire Bucks family ended up at the Harbor House and really spent, I would say, kind of the older folks spent all night there. And, players and younger folks went to a club afterwards. But that was really nice, for all of us just to kind of be together and almost relish like what had happened.
You mentioned planning for the if we win it. Are you a superstitious guy?
No, but I'm a completely paranoid guy. So, the logistics of planning for a championship are so fragile. So, of course, like we had to plan for a parade 2 weeks before a parade. We had buses wrapped. We had the city permit. So how do you keep that so close to the vest without it being a cover story to disrupt, the playoff? Like little things like that are big things you're going to rent out a restaurant like for Tuesday night. That seems like a little presumptuous. Like, what would you be doing that for? To have some semblance of like paranoia and keeping everything like, yes, we have to plan to win.
Yeah. The day that you clinched the Eastern Conference Finals, we were talking to your folks about partnerships for a parade if you won the NBA Finals, because you have to plan that far ahead.
Right.
And as a Milwaukee native and somebody who had the personal investment in wanting to see the title, I'm not all that superstitious either, but it feels a little funny thinking about, well, can we really do this? Should we be doing this?
Right. I mean, it kind of worked out. I mean, there are little great things that happened. Who had known, well, we had talked about it for years, but the exponential growth of the Deer District, it kind of made sense to build a stage on Block 5, so nobody sat there and said, like, what are they doing? Like, they're building an enormous stage. It looks like it could be for a production on Thursday, but there's some pieces that just worked well. But you know what? The story wasn't like look at the Bucks thinking they're going to win the championship, before they've played the game.